get ready for some Philly sports talk. Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, and the Birds.
He's an athlete. Give him the ball. He's going to make plays.
Just shut up and enjoy the greatness.
There's a lot to unpack here.
It makes you less happy, which is exactly what I want.
Let's do it. 3, 2. Philly!
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and joining me here is my illustrious co-host and wartime consigliere, Sam Glavin. And, of course, we have our producer behind the glass, the incomparable Seamus G. There's a whole lot going on in the world of Philly sports right now. Obviously, the Eagles are done and dusted. They're going to be talked about at the back end of the episode. We've got the Phillies not looking forward to spring training because we don't know when the hell that's going to happen. So we'll get Sam's thoughts on that in a little bit. And then we're going to, of course, we've got a lovely doghouse for you. But first, we must discuss the Philadelphia 76ers because they've been, quite honestly, pretty impressive. I mean, though I am a skeptic of the regular season now because of how often my heart has been just ripped out of my chest in the postseason, they're going out and winning games, and Joel Embiid is playing like a man possessed, like an MVP, like such a solid MVP that like millions and millions of people are literally losing their minds over it, and they just can't handle it. When we'll get to those people in a little bit as well. But Sam, the Philadelphia 76ers, man. Very specifically, I mean, obviously Joel Embiid, but Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's been doing really well.
Man?
I've actually been watching quite a few Sixers games in the past couple of days, and I've been really, really impressed with this kid, Tyrese Maxey, man. I took a look at there was a tweet today that said, like, thanks Miami Heat because they took Precious Achiuwa over Tyrese Maxey, and which is the craziest thing because I played against that kid at a tournament in high school.
Hilarious.
And like he was freaking nuts. Like I totally see why the Heat picked him because he was nasty. But yeah, I think he went to Memphis. Anyways, Tyrese Maxey, man, he's been really, really fun to watch. And I'm at the point where I do not want to include him in any trades with Ben Simmons because I really think that he can develop into a starting point guard in this league. We didn't think so earlier because he's just so young and like he's great. He would have been good to come off a bench, but with an early Sixers team like the Sixers team was, he didn't quite fit right. And now he's kind of just blossomed into this perfectly good point guard that we have. And I don't think we should include him in any kind of deal.
Here's the thing. I'm with you in terms of him being untouchable, at least right now. Yeah. Like, look, it doesn't really seem like any real trade is going to happen before the deadline anyway. But,
yeah, I
mean, Tyrese Maxey has the potential to be a top 30, top 20 player in the NBA in a few years' time. And I understand that, like, that timeline might conflict with Joel's prime. We don't know how long he's going to be playing like this. Like, Tyrese is going to hit his prime when Joel's retired. Like,
can we just enjoy like what we're watching? Like,
exactly.
Like what the hell?
Shut up and enjoy the greatness. People need to do more of that. And look, even though I was literally poo-pooing the Sixers not 5 minutes before we went live, I was literally like, nobody cares that we're winning. I don't care that we're winning. And I don't, but I do because it's fun to watch in the moment, even though I know in the back of my mind that this is not really getting us any step closer to a Larry O, which is unfortunate, but hey, Tyrese Maxey taking this next step. I mean, we saw it in the playoffs last year. He was electric. He was so fun to watch. He was so, I'm not going to say dominant, but he was able to come in and impose his will at times on players with a lot more experience and a lot more, not skill, but refined skill that have been in the league a lot longer. So, dude, I fucking love Tyrese Maxey. And this is what I have to ask you, Sam. So, Tyrese Maxey is untouchable. But we're trying to sell off Ben Simmons right now. Mr. I don't want to ever play for this city again. I'm not mentally ready to get back on the court, all this stuff. You got to add something in there. And
It's true.
and a draft pick from the Sixers is not going to do anybody any good because it's going to be in the bottom 10 of the first round. So does that then make Matisse Thybulle more available in your eyes? Or are you still like no Maxey, no Matisse, keep everybody?
I am fully willing to trade Matisse Thybulle at this point.
Wow.
I am. And
Wow.
here's why. Like I said, I haven't watched every single Sixers game like you have this year, but from the games I've watched, I think Tyrese Maxey has regressed.
You mean Matisse Thybulle?
All right, yes. I mean Matisse Thybulle, sorry. Matisse Thybulle, yeah. I think he's regressed. For one reason, and for the main reason that I give Ben Simmons shit for, is that he has not improved offensively. And he has kind of just stayed the same defensively. He's in year what, 3 or 4 right now?
3.
Okay, so I'm gonna need to see a little bit of uptick because he's basically the same player that we drafted 3 years ago, and I'm thinking that, and his defense is good. He got cooked by Ja Morant the other night. He got absolutely cooked. Worked.
He's getting used.
Yes, it was bad. Like, especially on that last play where Ja Morant did the crossover. Matisse Thybulle was in the stands.
It was over.
He was in the stands, and he just went up for and we almost lost the game because of that. So if you're gonna not be an offensive player like at all, you need to be like you need to be godly at defense, and I don't think he's at that level anymore. I mean, he was. I think the reason that we thought that he was like a god defensively is that he was good defensively. I mean, it doesn't take much to notice something like defense, like in the NBA, because nobody plays defense in the NBA unless you're like a defensive guy. Like, it's just you need to be. It's Seamus is chiming in. You need to be like a Dennis Rodman type. Like, if you're gonna be if defense is gonna be your game, you got to be hard nosed to the bone. Like you have to be a Dennis Rodman type guy if that's gonna be your game. And that's not who Matisse Thybulle is. I keep doing that. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, there's like the MT. They're the two young guys that are always in the Ben Simmons trade rumors. I mean, they have been since last January when we almost moved on from Ben Simmons and possibly Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle, sending all of them to Houston. Honestly, thank God that didn't happen, because I really don't know what would have, or maybe not. I don't even know. But the point is, right now, as this team is constructed, look, I still don't think this is a Sixers team that on paper right now is good enough to win a championship.
No.
A lot of people, though, that aren't Sixers fans and are saying that the Sixers are a contender. And obviously the part of that is because of Joel Embiid, but I think also it does tie back into the Jokic Embiid debate, which we'll get to. We'll get to it. But it does tie into that Jokic Embiid debate, because one of the big Jokic pillars is that he's doing all of this. Very impressive, by the way. Let me just clarify. Nikola Jokic is like my second or third favorite player in the league. It's like him and Ja Morant. I like point guards. Just one of them's a 7-foot point guard. So, but so I'm a huge Jokic guy, but people use Embiid's supporting cast to say that what he's doing is less impressive. So I think that is one thing that people are kind of overhyping the supporting cast that Embiid has had this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they want to prop up Jokic in that argument, which I think that's just a disingenuous angle to take in that argument in the first place. But also just because we're kind of in that win now mode. The Sixers are kind of supposed to be contenders, and unless we move Ben and we like get $30 million in salary off the fucking bench out of the hotel room and onto the basketball court, we're not winning a fucking title.
Daryl Morey has to get up off of his ass and do something. And one more thing that I thought about while you were talking is in terms of Matisse Thybulle. If we're gonna move him, we got to move him very soon, because you can still sell him as a moldable player in year 3. You can say, hey, his defense already top tier.
He was top 10 defensive player of the year ladder last year.
Exactly. All you got to do is develop his offensive game, and he'll be an all-star. And that's a selling point, and that's not going to be that argument is not going to be around for much longer. So
No.
if we're gonna offload him, it's got to be now or very, very soon, or else we're just gonna have to try and develop him offensively. And I don't trust our organization to do that. So
yeah, no, I'm with you there,
Yeah.
dude. We have 8 days exactly. We have exactly 8 days. February 10th.
perfect.
February 9th, we got Kevin McCormick coming on the show. Hopefully, we will have some kind of move that will have happened that we can break down with him, or some further advanced rumors at that state. But right now, any rumor about a Ben Simmons trade has been exactly that, a rumor.
Yep.
They might have talked about it once or twice, front offices, but I really don't believe there's been any real movement. And speaking of Ben Simmons, we don't need to go all into Ben Simmons, but did you see that Ramona Shelburne report talking about how he still watches the games?
Yes.
That's that's cap. That is so bullshit.
Shot. Yeah, no shot. He's watching those basketball games.
And I actually have a source. I can't reveal my source. I have a source that does corroborate that he doesn't really watch basketball at all. He'll occasionally throw on a Sixers game. Occasionally. But I have this on good authority. We can talk about this post-show.
I was going to say, yeah, it's like was it like a post-show thing, or is it like a not at all kind of thing?
Oh, no. It's a post-show thing. Yeah.
All right.
No, but so clearly, like, whatever's coming out in these reports is just bullshit. So we had to address that. And then also him saying that he didn't blame Embiid for that Toronto series in 2019, as if you fucking could. I mean, look.
Who has ever blamed Embiid for anything?
Well, here's the thing also, is Embiid is like literally Teflon in this city. It is incredible how we really are just like anybody but you is the problem. Mm-hmm. In that series, he did struggle offensively. Okay.
Isn't he coming off of like an illness or something like that?
But he was literally sick. Yeah. He had gastroenteritis. He had the bubble guts. Missed a game or like was shitting his brains out for 48 hours before one of the games or two of the games. So, and Ben Simmons also had he averaged 11 points a game in that 7-game series. He was like 8 and 7. And he's talking about
it's a standard Ben Simmons line or stat line right there. That
is the Ben Simmons stat line, like the 11, 7, and 5. Bang. Beautiful. Yep. Mwah. Like
or that stupid, the fucking 10, 10, and 10 triple doubles. Like 10, I couldn't stand those, dude.
I hated those so much.
Oh man. Never mind. Like 10 rebounds for a point guard. Who gives a shit? 10 assists, sure, that's pretty good. But only 10 points? Like, it's just it's just terrible. Seamus G is saying Draymond Green without the heart. You're goddamn right. Like,
he's Draymond Green without a jumper.
Yeah,
like Draymond Green has more of a jumper than Ben Simmons, and Draymond Green shoots like he has a backpack on. He looks like he walked up between classes and went, "Hey, yo, let me get a shot." Yeah, and he then bricks it and goes, "Yo, I have to get my lay," and then you give him his lay and he gets on his way. But that's how Draymond Green looks when he shoots a basketball. And he is 10 times the offensive player that Ben Simmons is. It really is something. But I will say, Sam, it is also great this season just to watch a team that plays basketball like a normal way almost. Like, I know Embiid is a complete anomaly, but being able to watch where, my point guard is Tyrese Maxey is bringing the ball up the floor. I still hesitate to call him a point guard. He is still more of just like a combo guard, good with the ball in his hands, but I wouldn't rate him that highly as a facilitator.
Sure.
But still, he comes up and he's either going to pass, but guess what? He's a threat from beyond the 3-point line. He's got a step back 3. He dribbles to the rack and actually fucking doesn't smoke it.
Got a great floater.
He's got a great flow. He's got touch around the rim. Ben Simmons struggled with touch around the rim at times. Struggled with easy finishes. Easy. Tyrese, on the other hand, I mean, the finishes he struggles with are the ones where he gets clobbered and they don't blow the whistle, which fortunately is less these days. But his rookie campaign, he had the worst whistle in the league. But right now, we have a functional basketball team. We have a fun basketball team to watch, but we are not winning a title as constructed. Unless Tyrese Maxey just like in the next 3 months just goes sicko mode, if I can say that. I kind of regret doing it, but it's too late now.
Yeah, I hear. You know what? Like it's not entirely impossible to be a contender. You just gotta make some moves. You gotta make some moves at the deadline, and then all of a sudden you can be a number one. You could be the number one seed in the East all over again. It's not that hard. I mean,
we're
the
only
Heat,
a game out of first right now.
Exactly. Like the Heat are good, but it's
that's the thing.
The East is just so close. Like the top 6 teams are all like within a game or within 2 games. It's a nuts East this year. Like, yeah.
And dude, I was talking about this with Brace on radio today. The Suns and the Warriors are just so much better than any other team in the league.
Yeah.
Other than a fully healthy Brooklyn Nets team, which I doubt we'll ever see.
Yeah, we're never.
It's like the Chupacabra. It's like a mythical creature.
Ever since like as soon as they got KD, Harden, Kyrie, I'm like, this isn't gonna work out like people think it's gonna work out.
Oh, it was like, so obvious from the beginning.
Yeah.
That there was something like this, like the basketball gods would not allow this to happen.
No way. It even took LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh a year to figure it out. They didn't win a title their first time all 3 together.
So but dude, this whole Kyrie thing, like just imagine this. Brooklyn is in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
There's still a vaccine mandate in New York. And the Nets have home court advantage. How pissed are you if you're James Harden? How pissed are you if you're
So they could potentially play 4 games at home. They only play in 3 of the games of the series.
Yeah, that's fucked. He would play in less than half the games in the series. How angry are you if you're a teammate? How fucking annoyed are you?
I could not. I'd be pissed now because I'm like the regular season to me is just as important. I mean, you got to get to the playoffs somehow. So like the regular season counts, and like the fact that Kyrie Irving is only there for half of it. It's like a kid that shows up like you playing in Little League. Like it's a kid that shows up. I mean, it's a kid that shows up every other day. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And you don't like the kid because like, hey, why aren't you here all the time?
Why aren't you here?
He's
like he's just part-time working. And Seamus G's letting us know here, the Sixers against the Wizards just wrapped up, and we fucking lost.
Awesome.
106-103 at home in the City Edition uniforms to I believe, Bradley Beal-less Wizards team.
No
I believe he did not play tonight. And we did have Joel Embiid. We were without Seth Curry. But it was the fucking Wizards, dude. Which is, honestly, I saw this loss coming. I didn't predict it or anything. I didn't bet on it. I have no proof. But just like, come on. No Bradley Beal against the Sixers. That's a loss for the Sixers. When their star players out, odds are that's a loss. When the other team's star players out. When we have our star out, then we win. Like against the Grizzlies. No Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey, 30-point game. Tobias Harris, 30-point game. Efficient nights out of both of them. But it's the opposite when the other team star players out. They just come out and they ruin my night. They ruin my night every time. And it bothers me, Sam. It really does. I'm trying to get these fucking I want to see how these Wizards cats played because I'm just like who beat us? Let me see.
I don't know.
Dude, Kuzma at 24. Lock me up and throw away the key. Lock me up and throw away the key, Sam. I don't want to live in a world where Kyle Kuzma drops 24 points on the Sixers. But here's the thing. If there was going to be a player on the court tonight that dropped 20-plus on the Sixers, it was going to be the average player, Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
It always was. It always was.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's just with every sport. It is literally every sport.
Tobias Harris, 18 points on 17 shots. Literally go to fucking hell. Like, what are you doing? You're like me in my rookie season of like my 2K creative player when I'm just hucking shots. And I don't even care about the outcome. Like that's what it's like. Except the worst part is he actually has good shot selection though, and he still fucking misses. So hopefully we can get another game or two out of him that's quality, so we can move him at the deadline. I don't know where the hell he is going to go, but we need.
I don't know either. It's so like all of our players that are relatively decent contributors, like Tobias Harris and stuff. Like, no other teams are going to want them. Like,
no,
I can't see anybody taking. Maybe somebody would take Seth Curry, but that's the one guy I don't want to give up. I mean, he's
that's the guy we're not getting. That's just no. Like
Tobias Harris, not like who's gonna want him? Like
nobody's
gonna want him. I mean,
the Sixers are truly the only team that has ever wanted Tobias Harris.
Yeah,
all the other ones passed him around like a, I don't know.
Like a what, Ryan?
like the collection basket at Mass.
Oh, at church. Okay.
That was a good recovery. It was not.
That was a great recovery. That was actually nuts. That recovery was great.
Thank you. Oh my god. Sam, do you have anything else on the Sixers here? I feel like we've covered most of the pertinent details.
Yeah. Daryl Morey, can you please get off your ass and make a move? That's it. That's all I got.
That's it. That's very fair. And right before we go to the Doghouse, I do just want to just read you off the next couple games the Sixers are playing, because it's about to get bumpy, boys. Awesome. Friday, February 4th at Mavs. Sunday, February 6th at Chicago, first seed in the East. And Tuesday, February 8th, back in Philly. Oh, the 41-9 Phoenix Suns come to town. So this Friday to Tuesday stretch is going to be absolutely brutal for the Sixers. We had it very easy. We had a very light January, which is part of why Joel Embiid Eastern Conference Player of the Month, Joel Embiid. Let me apologize. Second time he's won the award this year. That's twice as many as Nikola Jokic has won this year. Which means he's only won one, but
he's won one. It weren't they like so he won it this month as well, right?
He won it this month as well.
Yeah. But for the West, got it.
Yeah. So hey,
got it.
Shout out Joel Embiid. Hopefully he'll be healthy on the court these 3 games. And
you didn't really. Never mind. Keep going. Sorry. Sorry about it.
It's all good. I'm just hoping that he's still feeling good. I know he took a night off, which he earned. It was one of his longest streaks of games played, like 20. But those 3 games, those are going to be pivotal for seeding in the East. If we can beat all 3 of those teams, we may end up top seed of the East by the end of the weekend. If we don't, then it's in trouble. What if we went all the way this year and win it all without Simmons? I don't think that's ever going to happen. That would be sick.
Possible. That'd be unreal.
That would be literally hilarious if we did that, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, but it would be the funniest thing to ever happen. So it's going to do it for the Sixers, and we're going to move into the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Playing Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplayingfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Playing Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Yeah, I'm going to open up the Doghouse this week because I'm fucking pissed off a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm a little hurt.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm tender on the inside. So last week I gave my Sermon on the Mount based on, a lot of things concerning mostly the Denver Nuggets point center Nikola Jokic and the debate between him and Joel Embiid. Unfortunately, Seamus G clipped it. Well, it's not unfortunate that he clipped it and posted it. That was a smart move. But unfortunately, Nuggets YouTube got a hold of the clip. It went semi-mini viral. And I got a lot of fucking hate from every single commenter. Not a single supportive comment. There were some that just responded to what I said, kind of, and it continued the conversation. But it was either incredibly hurtful or neutral. Just a neutral comment. So the haters on YouTube are going in the Doghouse this week. And let me just say right now, before we really get started, all the things that you folks in the YouTube comment section said, I just want to let you know.
We do not care.
We don't care at all.
We really don't.
We simply do not care. But yeah, I don't know. Do we want to take a look at the clip now and maybe read some comments and see what we got here?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Here's the great fallacy of NBA advanced analytics. I'm sure you're familiar with the allegory of the cave, right? You know, you see the outline, you think that's what reality is. But in reality, there's so much more to it. There's so far more complexities to it than somebody living in that statistics cave could ever imagine. The reason these analytics work so well in baseball is it's all stop and start. You get the ball, you throw the pitch, somebody tries to hit it. Baseball is very binary. It's like, all right, hit, run, like, you know, it's very concrete in the outcomes that can occur and, you know, how they occur, how those start and stop. Meanwhile, basketball is incredibly fluid.
Yeah,
it assumes that everything happens within the run of play, and that's the way that it happens every time. And then that also that assumes and draws it out over a full season, which is just not how basketball works. It just it never has been. I don't want to be the guy that compares basketball to jazz. Everybody fucking has done that in their lives, but like you can't go in and break down like a jazz standard the same way that you would break down something. You've taken music theory that's more concrete tonally, you know, that's like trying to compare those two things. It's just different. It's just different. And they don't fully jive. So when people are trying to apply these things to especially Joel Embiid, whose game is so abnormal for a player his size, obviously Jokic can facilitate, but the way Joel Embiid handles like a guard, the way he has that dribble into a pull up, it's all something that's not something a stat's going to show you. No stat will ever show you how Joel Embiid plays the game of basketball. Look, he shoots like a guard. Jokic, he has that set shot. It's a catapult, whatever, it goes in. Joel Embiid dribbles into a pull-up jumper like Kevin Durant. He right now in this phase of his career, he looks like Kevin Durant when he has the ball in his hands. Should not be possible, but that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. That doesn't show up in the fucking value over replacement player. Doesn't show up in your true shooting percentage. None of that fucking bullshit. So I'm sick of it. It is the great lie that we have been told by Stat Muse and the other stat sexuals out there, Sam. And I've had it. Just shut up and enjoy the greatness. I don't really think there was a ton of controversial statements there.
No, I
real quick before we get it, I do want to just acknowledge that I shat on true shooting percentage at the end of that, and that's actually a decent stat. It's actually a pretty decent stat. I'm not gonna lie, it is helpful. There's a lot of stats in front of me. There were like 20 stats. I read the wrong one. Sorry, but the rest of it, like, just really nothing too aggressive, right? Like,
no, I guess you could say, but I fully agree with you when you say like he looks like Durant, like when he does those jump stops like on the elbow, he does. Like you don't see another center doing that, and the way he just stops on a dime and pulls it up, like you think of Durant. So like I agree with you there. I know you were getting some hate for that too. I mean, I don't know if you want to go through some of these comments right now.
Oh yeah,
I'll be kind of fun.
I'll read a couple of these.
Yeah, look at they're right on the screen here.
Here's the thing, man. There was one that wasn't a mean comment, but it wasn't a mean comment, but it was just one. Let me see. I also never said that Embiid was better than Jokic in this clip.
Yeah, no,
I never said that. I feel that way, and I believe it, but I never said that. See, this guy right here is the only guy that fucking gets me. Pitar Yovanov, my steel curtain dwelling friend. To expand on your music analogy, it's like watching a great solo musician in Embiid and an orchestra conductor in Jokic. Totally different mindsets and types of play. The only question that needs to be asked is which criteria you use when you choose a player. That's really all I wanted to illustrate.
Yeah,
in this clip. Now, granted, do I believe that Joel Embiid is the best player in the NBA? Yes, I do believe that. Is part of that colored by my Sixers fandom? It would be impossible for it not to be.
Yeah.
Same reason that these people are accusing me of tearing up in the middle of a rant or saying that they wasted 2.5 minutes, which I mean, honestly, if you're a Nuggets fan watching the Wolves of Broad Street podcast, that's a red fucking flag. That is a red flag. Stay on that fucking side. Nobody was talking to you. Nobody invited you over here. This is a Philly sports podcast. We talk about Philadelphia sports for a Philadelphia audience. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about whether or not you think that my mustache was bad. I don't care if you thought my hair wasn't perfect. It wasn't. It wasn't perfect that night. It can't be perfect every week.
Yeah.
All right. I can't be. I can't be. As much as I try, as much as I'd love to be, I can't be perfect. And
it's fine. You know what? I feel the same way about people talking people who hate Bryce Harper. You know, it's the same shit. Like, yeah, you look at you're gonna compare him to a guy like Juan Soto, right? Who is statistically better in most statistical categories than he was. But Bryce Harper won the MVP because there's just an intangible that he's just got. And
yeah, it's almost like you have to play the fucking game.
Or like you just have to watch the game. Yeah, you have to watch the game. Like if you watch the game, if you watch Bryce Harper play the game of baseball, you know why he's the MVP. And you look at the stats, you're like, damn, those are good stats, right? He's got great stats. But then you watch him play and you're like, wow, this guy does not stop. It's the same shit with Embiid.
And that Soto thing was really, it was over a brief stretch.
Yeah,
as well. Like he just heated up, and they're like, "Oh, look at like his last 40 games." And I'm just like, "What about Bryce Harper's entire season?"
Yeah, when the rest of his team has given up and like they didn't make the playoff, their organization gave up and was like, "Here, everybody, want some players?" Like it was just...
Dude, the Phillies organization gave up when they signed Bryce Harper because they knew he'd put asses in seats for the next 10 years, regardless.
That's true. Yeah.
So
very true. Well, that's
not what we're here to talk about, but
that's a perfect segue into my Doghouse. And that's just Major League Baseball. Can't tell you how many times we put Major League Baseball in the Doghouse. Look,
gotta be a few at this point.
Yeah, the CBA is just both sides are at fault here, right? Both sides are asking for things that they know the other side can't give them, right? So let's take a look here. For example. Right. Okay. So the owners, the owners increased the players are asking for a 23% increase to the veteran minimum. Right. But that all is a caveat to what we consider a veteran. Right. Service time. That's a huge thing in this. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Who's a veteran? Who's still considered like on a minor league contract? It's all service time. So like the players are like, why the fuck? Like, why do we have this? Right, I understand having like the veteran minimum, right? Like you've played a certain number of years, you should get a minimum. Like it's fine by me. And honestly, I think 700K is a very reasonable number for that. I mean, it's high, but if you're gonna play with guaranteed money, like that's
like, hey man, they're coming to play. They're coming to play and generate billions of dollars in revenue for you. So like 700K for these guys, like come on, guys.
It's really nothing. It's really not that much. So like you pay if somebody was paying 700K, say you were paying Andrew McCutchen 700K, that would be awesome. He's made enough money in his career where he can kind of just coast to his retirement, making 700K, helping out his team, bringing some more players that are maybe a little bit more expensive. So it's a give and take here, man. And both sides are just like such. They're both asking for things that would just contradict the other, and it's just so frustrating. I don't know. And now they're talking about maybe not even starting on time. Like there's a very real possibility that the MLB is not going to start on time, and we aren't going to have a full 162 game season.
Good.
No.
Good.
No.
Great.
I thought. No, Ryan.
Great.
Don't
Amazing. I am pleased.
I hate you so much. I can't imagine what you thought. Like when the NBA lockout happened, like a couple of years ago, I guess it was more than 10 years ago now?
Oh yeah, it was that 2011 year.
Yeah. So yeah, I was close. 11 years ago. And I couldn't imagine how you felt. I could give a shit, but I couldn't imagine how you felt about that.
That stunk. Granted, I was also just I was a wee boy at that point. You know, I was still running around outside. I didn't know the realities of labor relations then, Sam.
No, I mean, I'm still learning as this thing goes along because I think it's all bullshit. And be like, hey, can we just like agree so we can play some baseball? I'm still I'm still a little naive in that sense. But
did you see when John Boy talked about this? And you guys basically had like a similar point, although he used a little more aggressive language when talking about the owners and the players both being stupid in this whole thing. And he got fucking railed on Twitter. Now I get that, like everyone, oh yeah, let's take a shot at the new media company that just got like tens of millions of dollars in funding. Obviously, we can take shots at them now. But like, they're like, do you not understand the CBA? Do you not understand labor relations like 101? And he's just like, I don't know why you guys are all mad about this. Like, I've never claimed to know any of this shit.
He just gave an opinion. Like, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm not a labor relations lawyer, but I am a baseball fan. Like,
exactly.
You know who is a labor relations lawyer? Rob Manfred. And he isn't doing squat all in this fucking thing right now. Yeah. So I'm fed up with both. Like, they just need to sit and then when the reports come out like, oh yeah, there's a meeting. Oh, but they didn't get anything done. I'm like, well then
it wasn't a meeting.
What are we talking about here? Like,
don't even tell me they met.
Yeah. What's the point?
Like, I don't even.
It's just incredibly frustrating. I just want to watch some baseball. I'm gonna do my best to like keep up with this as best as possible, just to see like. And I don't know when they're gonna meet. Here's the thing: like when they do meet, we only get like, oh yeah, tomorrow they're gonna meet, and then a day later they're like, yeah, they met, and they didn't get anything done.
I mean, they got to. But here's the thing: the media's got to make it something so people read. They got to keep it interesting. So what can you do? I mean, Rob Manfred truly is the human embodiment of Jonathan Squat, aka Jack Shit. I mean, he really is just garbage, truly.
Yeah. So here are the 5 major points of the CBA. Just to close it out, you guys can do whatever with this. I'm sure it's all bullshit anyways. Whatever. Minimum salary, which is what we talked about earlier. Arbitration. Luxury tax, service time negotiations, which is what we also talked about, and a draft lottery, which we hadn't talked about. But who wants the draft lottery? The owners proposed a draft lottery like the NBA.
Here's the thing about that.
So to discourage, it's to discourage the tanking. It's the Sixers effect.
Well, here's the thing, Sam. All of the teams that sucked still suck. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like when you draft. I mean, look, sometimes you are drafting a Bryce Harper, but a lot of times in the first round, like it's very hit or miss. It's not like, oh, the draft lottery in the NBA, where like most of these guys are going to go on to like be significant contributors in the league.
Yes.
And then then there are the busts, but I feel like the hit rate is higher in the NBA draft.
The first, I would say. I sort of agree with you, and here's my caveat. There is more of a chance, I think, in the MLB to hit within the first round rather than just those lottery spots.
Right.
So like when you look at the NBA, right? All of those lottery picks obviously have the most chance. Like the top 3 have like the most chance of being a star in the league, and then you get down to like and there's only 2 rounds. So like once you get down into like the later rounds of the NBA draft, like. You're not really looking for anything good. Like, dude, there's nothing there. But like when you get down to the first round,
used to be like 10 rounds, and I'm just like, there's not even 10 good players on every team. Like, what are we doing here, guys?
So, but I think it's just. I mean, there's also just an absurd amount of rounds in the MLB too. There's like
it's like 40 or something, right?
Yeah, 40 or whatever. Yeah, it's absurd,
dude. How have I not gotten picked? Right, like. So someone drafted Johnny Manziel. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm not even going to address that.
That's going to do it for the Doghouse. Brought to you by Wide Blank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideblankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Blank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Check out their showroom in King of Prussia. Go in. They're going to help you out with everything. Everything. They're going to set it all up for you. This is one-stop shop. Planks. This wide.
Planks.
This wide. Hell, we'll go this wide. Planks. Go fucking get them. Now, Sam Glavin. Do you have anything else Phillies related, or? Or are we just kind of just in a holding pattern here?
No, I have some Philly stuff.
Oh, fuck yeah. Then what's going on?
Yeah. So here is it's just like some things that I want to address. So like the Phillies could potentially, if we ever get out of this lockout thing, which hopefully we will, but there are some signings. There are some signings that I would like to talk about.
Ooh, some potential signings.
Yeah, some potential signings. So my number one thing, and this is like kind of like a popular idea. Like I knew in the back of my head that I wanted this guy, but I just wanted to confirm, like with an article. First article I clicked on, they're like, "Yep, this guy." So Trevor Story, I would love to sign Trevor Story to a big deal and get him over at shortstop. Move Gene Segura over to third base and put Bryson Stott at second base and flip flop Rhys Hoskins and Alec Boehm at first base. Battle it out for that starting spot during spring training. Whoever it is, don't care. If they decide that the National League wants to have a DH, it's a win for the Phillies. If not,
can we get a DH, please?
Yeah,
the Phillies would be so much better with a DH, dude.
Obviously, it would be cool to have a DH. But
so I never have to see Alec Boehm in the field again. I never ever want to see that. He looked like me when I was in Little League. I was very just very. So confused.
Here's the thing, like with Alec Boehm, everybody was like, "Oh my god, he sucks at defense," but he was either making phenomenal like backhanded plays and throwing people out, like, or he was just missing like a routine ground ball.
It was insane.
It was so polarized. Like it was just one or the other. There was no in between, and he's had a whole year to figure that out now. So like, if I'm him, I'm literally taking ground balls every fucking day, every day since the offseason started. That's what he's got to do. Yeah, I mean, you can mix in some batting practice. Obviously, you can't just stop hitting, but
yeah,
he doesn't need to work on anything really hitting wise.
He's a very good hitter.
He's a very good hitter. So
like the whole
maybe
thing.
cut down on the strikeouts a little bit, which is.
I mean, couldn't we all?
Yeah, could. Well, you're right. The whole league could. That's it's a strikeout heavy league now. Pitchers are so fucking good anymore. It's just, anyways.
Dude, another great tweet from Christian Yelich.
Mm-hmm.
He said like, "Oh, don't start like." I think he tweeted at Yu Darvish saying like, "Nobody needs help facing you. Like, shut the fuck up." And then they showed like a clip of like a Yu Darvish breaking pitch. And he goes, as a man of like integrity, I have to admit I probably need help hitting off of you.
Mm-hmm.
I love Yelly on Twitter. It's a fun. I don't follow him, but he still pops up. So I'm like, all right, I can live with that.
Yes. So there is this Japanese guy who is in Japan. And he is he's not so like this is kind of, you know how there's like every year there's like this one guy in Japan that every team wants to sign, you know, like the Shohei Ohtani thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's this guy in Japan, and I know it's so like I also just like did a little more research, and it sounds like it's not going to happen. It sounds like he's going to sign with the Red Sox. But his name is Saya Suzuki, and that would have been a really cool guy to have in the outfield, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Fuck.
Anyways. But
no Japanese players want to come play in Philly, dude.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I guess it's just not like Philly is just not like a cool thing. I don't know.
I guess so.
Yeah, and over in Japan at least. Anyways, but yeah, if Trevor Story right now is my big thing. We shore up that infield, right? We got Bryce Harper, and then we'd have to trade. I would like to say we'd have to trade for like a Kevin Kiermaier or something in the outfield, and then have like Matt Vierling in the outfield as well. He had like a really good second half last year, or maybe third was when we brought him up, which is cool. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man. We do need some help in that outfield because Kutch ain't doing it. I don't know what the situation is.
Like, yeah, we could bring in, we could bring in another veteran guy, like kind of like a Kutch, maybe like a I don't know, like a Brett Gardner.
I'd fuck around with Brett Gardner.
Yeah,
on the left.
That'd be a pretty cool.
That'd be a good pickup.
Be a good pickup. Maybe
That'd be
not.
a really good
I mean,
pickup.
it'd be like the McCutchen signing, you know?
That's
Be like-
exactly what it would be like. But hey, that was a great signing.
Yeah, that's cool though. I don't know.
Mm.
We'll see. And this is all predicate on the CBA resolving.
Which it won't.
Nothing else.
And there will be
Which
no
it won't.
baseball. And we'll be watching USFL football all summer long.
Yeah, go Stars.
Go Philadelphia Stars, baby. Dude, they won a chip back in the day. Like, this is no joke. This is no joke of a franchise. So we'll see what's going on there.
I think Seamus might have a quick Flyers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You do a quick Seamus says.
Jace,
Hello.
Hey.
what's
How you
popping?
doing? The Flyers have won 2 in a row, gentlemen. Things are looking up.
What?
Yeah, right? Wild.
I'm disappointed.
I honestly, yeah, dude, like I don't want to like say it out loud, but like
Tank. Do it.
I wanted 20. I wanted 20 straight losses.
I thought we were gonna get at least 15.
We're going to 20.
Dude, if we got 15 plus, I would have been relentless.
Yeah.
I'd buy tickets to every remaining game and just like yuck it up and just be like, you guys are the best. Because they'd all be like $1.
You wouldn't have to buy the tickets. You just have to stand outside of Wells Fargo Center, and people would just be like, just take them, just take them. But
Disappointing.
I do have a reply to the Doghouse you and the haters with a Seamus says haiku.
Seamus says.
Oh, a
Seamus
diss
says.
haiku?
A diss
Seamus
haiku.
says. Seamus says. Seamus says.
Haters
Let's go.
gonna hate, so flip the script and be great. Fuck them. Elevate.
Yeah! Electric.
Thank you.
Getting that
I
tatted
love a
on
good
my ass
haiku.
cheek.
So yeah, man. I mean, the Flyers have been fun. It's confirmed. My favorite player on the Flyers is Scott Lawton. Like,
Nice.
he's just fun.
Lost.
Yeah, dude. On a breakaway, he's dangerous. I don't know why he's not in shootouts more for us, but or in overtime 3-on-3s. But regardless, the team's looking better. Travis Konechny had a snipe on Connor Hellebuck of the Jets, who
Him scoring
is
goals.
a Vezina winner, like goalie of the year winner, like multiple years. So and like he's a beast, and he put it right over his glove. So maybe that kicks him into gear. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It'd be nice. A little too late. I mean, at
Maybe.
this point, I would kind of this Jack Wright, Shane Wright,
Shane Wright.
Shane Wright,
Yeah.
There you go.
Shane Wright.
Oh,
Who's
boy.
Jack Wright? I'm thinking of Jack White, the
Jack White.
musician.
Yes.
Jack White, the musician. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool too. If we get him, that'd be a big get.
TK's just bringing up his trade value. That's what he's doing. He's just
Dude, I love getting the trade value pumped up. It's
All
that
about
time
the
of
kid.
year in Philadelphia. Tobias Harris having 30-point games. We got TK finally putting the puck in the net, even though one of them was literally like a fluke off of somebody. It's trade season, baby. The trade wins are blowing. That's the title for next episode. The trade wins are blowing. There we are.
I'll write it down right now.
There you go.
Write it down. Producer of the fucking year right here.
Honestly, yeah. Producer of the year for sure.
Goated.
Yeah,
All right.
man.
Oh my goodness gracious.
But Sam, what do you think about what's his name? Never mind. I forgot the name, so we're just gonna move
that's
on.
okay.
And
That's
What
fine.
happened?
yeah.
We
Peace,
can
boys.
do a pre-show. We can do a pre-show or a post-show if you remember it.
Love a post
good.
show.
Oh, Schwarber.
Oh, Kyle
Kyle
Schwarber.
Schwarber.
He'd be great. I don't know that we'd be able to afford him if we got Trevor Story. Is the thing. Without going over the luxury tax, of course.
So then we can't afford him.
So we can.
I love when
Okay.
my billionaire owner cries poor. Literally,
That would be
fuck off.
cool. Yeah, except it's just his defense is kind of, and of course we'd be playing the NL, and yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
unless
what do
you
think
want to,
about-
unless you want to move like Reese Hoskins or Alec Boehm out in the left field.
no, not you.
Got Reese Hoskins out of left field. I don't want to put him back.
Reese
Not
Hoskins
with that.
isn't-
Not with the what did he have like a groin thing or a hammy thing or like a leg thing at some point?
I think
Maybe.
it was a groin thing. You're right.
Oh yeah, I don't
Wait,
want him out out in outfield with a groin.
Speaking of left field, what do you think about Castellanos?
He'd be
Dude,
great.
I'd throw the bank at him.
He would be cool. If we do so like all of you, there's so many possibilities. I mean, Castellanos would be an awesome addition to the lineup, and I would love to have him out there in left field. I just think Story would eat up a lot of money, and Nick Castellanos is also going to be looking for that big paycheck.
That's fair.
I would love to have. Obviously, I would love to have both. Like if I had to pick one or the other, oh man, I would go. I think Castellanos would cost more. Therefore, I would go with Story.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's enough difference in talent for Castellanos to have such a jump in salary, which he's going to have. Like his salary is going to be way bigger than Story's, I think, just because of the year he had. Yeah.
He did have a good year.
Who's got the better WAR? That's what I want.
I got nothing. I'm not a stats guy.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, at least, I could look it up for you if you wanted to.
No,
but
no, none of that.
No,
not this episode. No. Not in the Lindros episode.
No, it's not the Lindros episode.
It's the Lindros episode.
Shout out to Eric Lindros. Best
the beloved former Flyer.
Beloved former Flyer.
The city's favorite son, Eric Lindros.
Literally number hanging in the rafters.
Most hated Flyer of the 2010.
I just don't know what I was thinking.
Lindros.
I just don't know what I was thinking. I don't. Yeah.
You were thinking of WIP hearing about like his dad, who was his agent.
That might be it. Yeah.
That's definitely
that's exactly what it was. It's just wrong time period and also not that big of a deal.
Yeah. You know, WIP. Dude, Howard Eskin talking about trading Embiid.
Not even
Gilio needs to be. First of all, Gilio looks like he already had a lobotomy, but
it's so foul. That is such a violation.
Yeah, just caught a stray big time there.
Wow. All right.
That was not a stray.
You're right. No, it was a direct hit.
It was a direct hit.
Scoped out.
That was not an unintentional whoopsie. That was do I say this? Yes, I'm going to say this out loud
on the air. Good stuff. Well, yeah. Well, to come back to your question, Seamus. Yeah, I would rather have Trevor Story. I think just to have like a sick infield, I think would be awesome. Maybe in the top of the lineup there, and you know we can kind of just
hole.
And we could develop a guy. You know, we could develop a guy like Matt Vierling. You know, I think he's a good piece to have. You know, and who knows? Maybe I'm gonna say it, but maybe Scotty Jetpacks makes a comeback. Like when we stick him in the outfield somewhere. It's just that, and there it is. There's his jersey. There you go.
It's a sign.
Bring him back, boys,
from the heavens.
Bring him back up. Get him out of there. He's not a pig for life. No, he's a Phil. I also need a reason to have this jersey still.
You're his biggest fan at this point, dude.
Dude, I have to be. I'm locked in.
Yeah. Oh man, Lord, but hey, if you ever want to go watch him, I mean, I live 15 minutes from.
We might as well,
Coca-Cola Park. Like,
I'll be the only guy there in a Kingery jersey
every
still.
day. What's that?
I said I'll be the only guy there in a Kingery jersey anyway.
That's very true. Very true. You remember those Yingling jerseys? Oh, dude, those were
tight. Those were tight.
Let me see if I can get one off. I'm actually gonna go look like on Amazon right now, see if they
do it.
Snag one for cheap.
Perhaps an eBay or something else like that.
Oh, also I forgot Carter Hart, 96.9% save percentage last night. Against the Jets. Like he's just playing out of his mind. Give that man a lifetime contract.
That's cool.
Do it.
Well, is that like confirmed? Like he's the franchise goalie? Is that?
Well, I mean, like he's got to be. He had like a down year last year, but that was also because he had Joe Schmoes on defense in front of him. So
sure.
But I'm also a goalie apologist. So
that's
nah,
true.
dude. But his job was impossible last year.
Yeah.
Even and I'm not, I mean, I enjoy to watch the hockey. I'm not the fucking foremost mind, and even I can see that like this dude is getting fucking screwed.
Yeah, dude, he gets shelled on a nightly basis.
He gets shelled all the time. He's the only reason we don't have the worst record in the NHL. It feels like sometimes, like there have been games that he's single-handedly won us because you're gonna get a goal in hockey at some point. You keep fucking putting the puck on net most of the time.
One will slip through. It's just bound to happen.
Dude, that's a dang it. What I call that.
Yeah, man.
Well,
all right. You guys got anything else?
Not all good. Fucking at all.
Awesome. Wow, I can't believe we got to talk a little Phillies there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. My name is Sam Glavin. Joining me today was Ryan Conway and Seamus Glavin, Seamus G, at Shamelessly SG, at Ryan Conway 76, at Sam Glavin 06, at Wolves Abroad ST on all the social medias. Check out thelibertyline.com and at LibertyLine PHL. Big shout out to Drew Smith and Victor Williams for letting us rant and rave about Philly sports on their network. Buy a shirt. Check out the Parks Casino Sportsbook. Use code WOLVES69 for a risk-free bet of up to $500 with a $25 deposit. Seamus G, close us down.
I'm a little piggy, here's my snack. Oink, 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 oink.